us got separated at the reception because we were allocated to different tables. My table had only single people. As we got to know one another, we realized we had one specific thing in common. We were all exes of the bride. It was a little weird, but we made a joke of it because we assumed that was the point of us being here. Fast forward to the speeches. When it was the bride's turn to speak, she asked all of her exes to stand up, which we did. She informed the audience that we were the people she dated and disappointed her over the years because she discovered the love of her life, aka her husband. She wanted us to know how grateful she was to have been with all of us. And then she locked eyes with me and said, maybe not all of us. She said my name and asked me to wave at everyone. I waved like an idiot. She warned all the women at the wedding to watch out for me because I literally peed on her. The husband stood up at that moment and covered the microphone with his hand while he whispered something to his wife that made her look confused as fuck. The bride sat down without saying anything else. The husband made an awkward joke about his wife having too much champagne and instructed us to please take our seats. The DJ intervened and asked if any of the groom's exes were also in the house, which actually made the audience laugh. The music played and everyone pretended none of that just happened, except for me. I got the fuck out of there as soon as the lights dimmed for the disco ball. And honestly, if I were her husband, I would be confused why she's inviting all her exes. And I would so not approve of any of that. That's crazy that the husband let that happen. But also to do a public gala like that is crazy because literally that gives you the opportunity to clap back and ruin her entire wedding. Why would she even risk that? That is so stupid to do. Honestly, if I was OP, I would have kept my mouth shut, but I definitely, if I wanted to be petty, if it was, a really crappy relationship from her end, would have clapped back, but also I wouldn't have showed up at this wedding. That's also a little weird to do, but it's interesting nonetheless. Alright, update. A few people who were at the wedding decided to reach out to me afterwards. I did a little breakdown. Random person 1. This guy managed to find me on Instagram. He introduced himself as a friend of the groom and said he was going to make me piss myself if he ever saw me anywhere near his friend or his friend's wife again. Fellow single friend I made. Dude's dad owns an umbrella business or whatever and he's been trying to sell me umbrellas, even though at the wedding he joked about their umbrellas being poor quality and absolutely not worth buying. Apparently he was drunk when he made that joke and now he's spamming me. One of my ex's DM'd me on Instagram and wanted to know if I really beat on the girl that we both dated. I said I did, consensually. Based on his follow-up questions, I could tell he wanted me to provide more details and for me to be as descriptive as possible, which made me feel like he might be getting off or just taking the piss, pun intended. Either way, I tapped out of that awkward Q&A as soon as he asked for my number so that I could create a group chat with all the other exes from the wedding. He never said it in so many words, but it was implied that he wanted the others to share their intimate experiences too, which was fucking weird. Random person 2. This random person never identified themselves or bothered to at least send me a DM, but their Instagram profile showed their ID. I still don't know who they were, but their pronouns were they, them, which I'm only mentioning because I'm using their pronouns to show more respect to them than they showed me. They targeted the comment section on my Instagram post and randomly replying to people who commented by telling them that I beat on their best friend who just got married. I blocked them, disabled my comments, and made my account private. But the damage was done. Friends, family, and co-workers who managed to read the messages sent to them before I disabled the comments contacted me to find out if I actually beat on another person. I was honest about what happened, but only with the people I considered close. The husband. I almost didn't answer when I noticed an unknown number calling me, but I did end up answering the call and realized it was my ex's husband. He said I was the first of 4 exes he was calling with an apology on behalf of his wife. He wanted me to understand that he was traveling for work during most of the wedding planning, which actually suited him because his wife made him feel like she had everything under control. He joked about her trying to gaslight him into believing she informed him about her exes beforehand, but he remembered no such conversation. He made it sound like it was something funny because he never expected us to actually show up, even though we had to confirm we were coming. The longer that I listened to him, the clearer it became that he was gaming while talking to me. As a gamer myself, I automatically recognized the mechanical sound of those Dead by Daylight sentence to do whatever he needed to do in the game, and then forget the last thing he said. I eventually asked if it was a bad time, but he was like, I'm on my honeymoon, bro, it's all good. I said I was sorry if my presence at the wedding made anyone uncomfortable. The husband said he appreciated my apology, and playfully or not playfully encouraged me to avoid going to the weddings of people I've peed on. I said I learned my lesson. The husband literally said nothing for 5 seconds and then said, what lesson? Like he no longer had any idea of what we were talking about. That was it for me. I was done having a conversation with someone whose attention was obviously elsewhere. So I said I had to go. The husband thanked me for calling him, even though he was the one that called me, but I didn't care enough to correct him. I just said goodbye. All of the above happened during the week. Thankfully, it's been radio silence since Thursday, with the exception of the umbrella dude, so hopefully that means everyone else has moved on. Dude, honestly, I feel bad for the husband, dude. Like, OP's ex, the wife, she is so toxic. The fact that a wedding is supposed to be about you, but instead you just make this some, like, thing to ambush your exes. I feel bad for the husband, because she's clearly not over her exes. But, like, at the end of the day, she embarrassed herself too. Like, now everyone knows she got peed on by someone. But also, like, I don't know what she expected from ambushing her exes, because realistically, they all could have teamed up. Because realistically, all of them were sitting together and were buddies, you know? So they literally all could have started throwing insults at her as a group effort. That was such a bad idea to do. She was so lucky that they were mature and handled it properly, but I swear, like, all of them could have been like, hey, that's not cool, and started throwing insults at her. This wedding's already ruined, because now everyone remembers the wedding as her saying she got peed on. Like, I don't know why she thought to do that. It's not even, like, funny. It's just so stupid. Because she just ruined her own wedding. And then, literally, personally, for me, my exes becoming friends would be like a nightmare situation. Because they could literally just, like, trash talk me. I don't know why she thought it would be a good idea to put them all at the same table. But also, why were all the exes single? Like, did she specifically make sure to double check that everyone was single before inviting them? I don't know, it's a little weird, to be honest. I'm just weirded out by her, like, why? Like, that's such a weird thing to mention, especially if it was consensual. I don't know, it's just so weird, because now everyone knows you for that. Not even OB, like, the wife. And, like, not even giving context either is so weird. Anyways, that's all for this story. This